Hey, welcome to the Rex channel. Often when you attend any interviews, job interviews, they may ask this question quite frequently about tell it about yourself, and as well as other than that, tell about your strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that. Even in fact, when I attended the recent Extreme Networks interview, there is a guy in one among the tech guys have asked the same question. But not the final manager actually. So it's not a question whether I got the job or not. Of course, I discussed about what happened in the incident. But this is something I was still not able to forget, and I thought it is good to discuss because many youngsters, they tend to realize what can I answer and stuff. It's of course you can answer anything, you can project anything as your strength and weaknesses, but you will know yourself internally. You will know what you are capable and what you are not capable and stuff. At the same time, you will try to achieve something and you try to strive for it. But here is the place where I thought to give some clarification so that you will understand for what you are born for. Okay, unfortunately we have the education system from Western countries, and naturally what is the thing is, what we Indians are even capable, we have forgotten. At the same time, we tend to be in a company, and these companies, they treat everyone the same, unfortunately. But what happens is, a certain individual may have a specific unique skill sets or else unique talent. Unfortunately, they may not be appreciated for those unique talents, and they try to kind of categorize everything under the same situation actually. So this is something I was having a phone call just now with someone, and the guy happened to be found my contact number, and then he called just now, and I was discussing something about this. Okay, so it was an interesting chat. It happened a situation that he's from Chennai, and I was also discussing that I was indeed studied in Chennai, grown up in Chennai. Of course, I was talking with him in Tamil actually. So end of the day, if you are a Tamilian watching, எனக்கு ரொம்ப நல்லா தெரியும் தமிழ்ல பேசுறது. So it is not that. இங்க வந்துட்டு I married, I am from AP. So எங்க அப்பா அப்போ when the industry is in Tamil Nadu, the Telugu industry, so we are settled there. So I brought up in T Nagar. After that, I was studying elsewhere, and then college was done in Nagapattinam. I was back to Chennai, and then in a way I was migrated to Bangalore. So I am from AP, so of course I will talk good in Telugu. At the same time, I talk very good in Tamil. I can read Tamil, and at the same time, of course, I can read Telugu, but I cannot write Tamil, and similarly I cannot write Telugu. And now I'm married to a Kannada girl, and even when I was in Chennai, I studied in Karnataka Sangha school, so I know how to read Kannada as well. So of course, I talk with my wife in English because this is far more comfortable rather than having this kind of a debate of which language to talk. So here is where, when I was discussing to him, okay, the question arose something like this, and this is something often I discuss with my students as well. You should understand what is that you are truly born for. Here is where the catch. Whenever you find a person, by getting just the date of birth, of course, through astrology or something, we will definitely know what is his strengths and weaknesses are. So as simple as that. Unfortunately, what it happened in India is, this is a question. If something you go and abroad, some HR in other country asking is fine, but it is shameful. We Indians having so much insight, and we are having great amount of Vedic astrology and such kind of knowledge and know-how. We have borrowed this nonsense. This HR and other job recruitment people have borrowed this system from abroad, and then they ask this idiotic question. So the thing is, if I just know your date of birth, more or less I can tell 80% to 90% what your strengths are, what your weakness. It is as simple as that. Okay, so this is what it is. And many people, in case if you are confused, if there is any conflict between you and your manager, you and your brothers and sisters, you and your wife, or if you're a girl watching this video, you and with your husband or with your siblings, it is quite easy. They may have be born in a different sign, a different zodiac sign. Of course, you will have that type of misunderstanding. Sometimes you may feel very comfortable spending a time with a specific friend. The reason is there will be some sort of compatibility will be there. Let it be in sun sign, moon sign, whatever it is. So that is why we feel naturally comfortable. Same thing. What happened is in the job interviews, although they ask what is your strength and weakness, it is quite easy. If you if you see their birth date or something, it's extremely easy. We can tell really what is his strengths and weaknesses. Unfortunately, what has become is the so-called managers are everybody just like that. Once they get promoted into a manager, they focus only about the people management, and they expect this guy to perform in so and so way, and then they expect everyone to perform in so and so way. So they do this type of goof up actually. So this is what okay, everyone have a specific skill set, so everyone will have a specific approach to arrive at that specific solution. If you want to do something in kernel, if you want to do something in a software or project, you give to a specific guy, he does in a different way. You give to a different guy, he does in a different way. Have you ever noticed the Linux channel? I spend a lot of time in terms of its banners and other stuff. I'm also an artist. Me being a Piscean, I do in a different way. Okay, if you see the same way, if you see some other YouTube channel, they may do in a different way. The reason is I'm also a Piscean, and my moon sign is Rohini. Rohini is the same as Lord Krishna. So I have that approach of Rohini, which is Taurus. Okay. So I do in that way. At the same time, I do like a typical Piscean. So if you see me, even my birthday is just one day before Steve Jobs. So Steve Jobs is 24th born. My birthday is 23 Feb. I do things according to my way, how God has created. So this is why. So which is why I'm saying, if you are confused, if you are even a manager, if you are confused about a team member, first, get to know these things. We Indians have this very much in place, okay? Instead of we use our own, our own knowledge and education, what we have from centuries, we are not utilizing that what has been perfected. Instead, you just break your head trying to understand what this person is. See, in a system, you have the Linux source code. From the source code, you know how the kernel has been done. How can you know the other person's mentality? You have to use this, okay? You have to use some strategy to understand, okay? Sometimes they may just tell some lies, but this cannot change, okay? Once you understand this, this person is inside out what he can be. So instead, what happened is, in the industry, everyone does something in the same way. I have seen also there is a lot of confusion between this hiring itself. They start this confusion. They don't understand what that person is saying. Neither that person, once it is recruited also, he won't understand what the manager is saying, and there will be sort of confusion among the team members and other stuff. The big problem is we are not utilizing. I'm not saying you to be superstitious. This is the sort of a study which is evolved time to time, and it is quite mature at this point. Of course, you go, in case if you want to check with an astrologer, you go to a bad guy, he is going to misguide you. Same way you go to a bad doctor, he is going to diagnose, and he is going to treat it in a wrong way. So often this happens, but that doesn't mean this is going to be wrong. So use our own thing which we started and having perfected in India. We have Vedic astrology, which is so much advanced, so much we can get granularity, and it's like a high resolution mode. You can get up to date what this person is capable of. So don't be an expert in astrology, but use some common sense and try to identify what the person is, okay? This is something is going to help you leave about the office. Even in the home, you can understand better about your father, about your mother, about your siblings. If you know what they are capable of, okay, you will know what they have been born for. what is their inborn capabilities and what is their weaknesses and stuff like that. If they have a specific weakness, you will also know how to address them, how to motivate them, and how to help them. So this is what we don't have put, this thing in the home, we have not put even this thing in the office, and we just, this is going to be like yet another some dumb interview HR question. So unfortunately they ask, what is your strength and weakness? I don't know whether to tell the truth or I don't know what to tell, because I thought in the interview itself to tell that I'm a Piscean, my birthday is that, you can derive from that what my strength and weakness. But unfortunately I can't give this real answer. I need to give some fake answer in the interview, because we can't convince the dumb people, because they may not understand your point of view, because we need to talk according to their level. We need to convince in a language which they can understand. Unfortunately, this is a dumb system we derive from this Western countries. It's the time to evolve ourselves. We Indians have better equipped about these things. Unfortunately, we don't put certain aspects in the place. Okay, we do this matching horoscopes and other stuff for marriage alone, but on the other side we are not keen enough to bridge our relationship with other relatives, whether it is a question of you with respect to your dad, mother, siblings, brothers, sisters, or with your kids. We don't focus. All we do is just match one horoscope with your girlfriend or your wife and or the potential husband to be married or something, and we left off as it is. It is not okay. We will come to know what the other person is once we investigate. Let it be a manager, let it be a colleague, let it be a friend, or whatever it is, let it be any stranger. We will better know that what the person is inside out. Okay, so we have left off. And so we ask this dumb question, idiotic question in our interviews, asking their strengths and weaknesses. No one is going to tell their weakness. This is another dumb question. Although they ask, they are not going to tell that I can't do this particular thing. He will be afraid whether I will get this job or not. So it's a really dumb question. I don't know why we borrowed from this, Western countries, and this something HR asks, this something some idiotic managers or even this tech teams ask. It is just bullshit actually, Knowing their date of birth, I can really tell that what you are capable of, whether you are capable of working something in a deeper level kernel space, or whether you are capable of working in application space, or else some sort of marketing or something. This itself you need to sort out during your college time or even before that, so that you can choose a specific education which suits your inborn skills which God has given you to do, so that this is how you are born for your entire life, what you are capable of, having these inborn skills within yourself. Okay.